Hello, Just Gem here and welcome, or indeed welcome back to my channel. I've been looking forward to this one. This is a competition win from the naming game, the guessing game, not the naming game, it already had a name, but the guessing game that Nomad Cosmetics run. So I was lucky enough to be a winner over on TikTok, and Nomad sent the palette out to me, and originally it got lost. I'd almost forgotten actually, or not that I'd forgotten, but the passage of time at the moment, I can't seem to comprehend it. Time is just galloping on, and I'm mutuals with Eden Baines on Instagram, and she'd posted that she had received hers because she also won one of these palettes as part of the guessing game. And then I was like, oh yeah, shouldn't mine have arrived by now? So I contacted Nomad and they were very kind to send me out another one, and it's arrived, and here it is, very washed out. There we go, that's better. And this is Fairy Tale Europe, and this is what it looks like. It's not quite, it is and it isn't Disney themed. Like, it's not Disney themed, it's fairy tale themed. So a lot of the Disney stories are based on fairy tales that were set in Europe. There's a lot of characters' names in here from those fairy tales that happen to have become Disney stories, Disney movies, etc. Fairy Godmother, Cinderella, Snow White, Belle, etc. As I'm filming this, I haven't done the swatches yet, which is very unusual for me. Normally I do the swatches beforehand and I have them on my arm so I can reference them, but I've left it quite late to film because I've spent most of today editing and then tidying my house. So it's quite late already, so I haven't done the swatches yet. If you're looking for a super duper black, this isn't it. It's more grey leaning with a hint of blue, but I kind of like that because I think that goes better with these two shimmers. That's what I think. All swatched really well. Beautiful matte formula, like really nice matte formula in there. Didn't have to do much to build up those swatches at all. What I would say is, now that I've swatched these out, these first three mattes are closer than I would like. I don't think we need both of these. Now, you know which way I'm going to go. I'd want something deeper, so I think you'd kind of maybe get rid of this one, shunt that along, and shunt this along, and give a really dark brown, like a darker brown than this. Just thinking, because at this point I've already done my looks, the lighter eye I think could benefit from having a deeper brown to go in the corner. It still works, and I think that would round this palette off perfectly. However, unusually for me, I do have a bit of an idea in my mind of what I want to do. And now I'm saying that, I'm looking at it and I'm changing my mind a little bit. But I'm going to start with the eye that I'm set on, and I think I almost want to do like a bit of an L and focus on these shades here. And then the other look that I was thinking of, I'd go towards the lighter half and maybe do an L this way. Like, I haven't done a solid pink look for a while, but then I saw Jan's video the other day where she did purple and yellow, but I'm trying to avoid blue, purple, green. I'm not saying I'm never going to do a blue, purple, green look ever again, but I lean towards those shades a lot, so I want to do something a bit different. So maybe I'll focus on this quadrant, sort of like... Actually, part of me wants to do the lighter eye first. I'm gonna see where the lighter shades take me. I've got a collection of Zoeva, Refa and Made by Mitchell brushes in front of me. Some are clean, some are not, but that's okay. At the very least, I'm wiping off the pigment. We're going to go with the ME8, and this mirror is pretty cool. I don't think I can show it to you, or maybe it will be in the little picture that I put. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all, which obviously is extremely appropriate given the theming of the palette. Craigio Castle. Let's try that. That's quite light. I mean, you can see it, but that's quite light. Maybe I'd use that to blend out some edges. So let's try the next one, which is Chateau de Chambord. Chambord. Maybe the D is probably not a hard D there. These feel very soft, actually, very nice. I do like the Nomad formula, and I do feel that they've made some improvements in like their newest releases. With this palette, it's one that I hadn't decided yet if I was going to pick this one up, mainly because I wasn't sure how I felt about matte shades mixed with colourful shimmers in this way. I just wasn't sure if it would go, you know? So my initial plan when this was released actually was to wait and see reviews and wait and see what people came up with this palette, and then I was going to decide if it was indeed something I wanted to pick up. I'm now going to try, so I'm basically going across the mattes here, so I'm going into Neuschwanstein. I've probably butchered that horrifically, I apologise. Partly because I'm curious to see how these do layer on top of each other, and I am wondering how deep these go. As I say, because I know I want to keep this light, I'm not overly concerned about depth on this eye. On the other eye, maybe a little more so. Applying really nicely though, I've got to say. And my blending skills are definitely improving for sure, but this formula I think is helping with that, definitely. Let's put some shimmers on. Do I go with some NYX glitter if I can find it? Because sometimes, oh yeah, there it is. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes I put it down somewhere and then I never know where I've put it to find it again. I think I want Fairy Godmother and Belle, and then we'll see which of the shimmers will look the best as an inner corner. Fairy Godmother on the outside here. It might even be that I use Prince Charming as my inner corner. I'm going to use my silicone applicator for this because I think it gives me nice precision. I just have to be careful not to gouge into the shade. Belle. Ooh, wow, yeah, that's... So using my thing, that felt a bit drier there. So the mattes felt creamy. I mean, that's the only... So yeah, that felt... Belle felt drier than Fairy Godmother. Not hugely so, but I'm just noticing a difference in the texture. I quite like those together. I think that's a bit high. There we go. I think that shows it better. I like that combo. Do I want to take that higher? I'm trying to be mindful. I'm finding that I don't take my shadows high enough. Refer number 2 back into Bell. And then same with Fairy Godmother. Yeah, like that. I'm just going back into that deepest brown I used, the Neuschwanstein shade. And like, I genuinely don't want too much depth on this side. I do want to keep it a light. I don't know, maybe at the end, if I feel like I need a bit more depth, I'll just dab ever so lightly into the black that's in here, but we'll see. I might leave that eye for now and go onto the other side. And in my mind, what I was thinking, as well as concentrating on the lighter side and perhaps doing more of the princess look, I wanted to go evil queen / evil stepmother eye look using the darker side of the palette. That's the kind of idea I had in mind. Wiping off that pigment from the ME8 that I use, from my Made by Mitchell brushes, and I want to try, gosh, these castle names are really giving me a run for my money here. Acacius Fortress, mainly because I'm curious to see what this grey looks like, but I imagine I'm probably going to go in with the black Chillon Castle. I don't think that's Chillon, I think that's Chillon Castle. But let's try this Acker's House Fortress shade, just because I'm curious to see what it looks like. Actually, that's a deeper grey than I thought it would be. And I forgot to say at the beginning, I've primed my lids with my Sigma eye primer, mainly because it was the first one I picked up. I haven't used it in a while because you've got to really warm it up to use it. And if you're not careful and you don't smooth it out on your lids properly, it can be a bit bitty and then shades can cling to it. So you've just got to make sure that you thoroughly warm it up and really blend it in. But to be fair, it is a good eyeshadow base. You just have to know how to use it. Yeah, that's actually, it's not the tone of grey I was expecting. I don't know, I thought it would apply and be lighter, but I'm not mad at that. I'm actually, that's fine. I just thought it would be lighter than that, more ashy rather than an actual grey. So that works, I'm alright with that. And now my Refer 14, and I'm going into that Chillon Castle. Let's deepen things up. So I'm going right underneath that shade. And I don't know, it's one of those things, maybe I should have started with the black, but you've got to be, because I haven't done the swatches yet as well, I don't know what kind of intensity this black is. It doesn't look like it's one of those pitch black, super intense shadows. I'm wondering how much you can kind of build it up to get it towards a truer black. I would say if you like your pitch black, gotta be super careful, pigmented blacks, this is probably not the black for you. See, I wouldn't be nervous to add that on this eye now to deepen things up if I wanted to. I'm going to get some NYX glitter primer again. See, now I want Magic Spell and Little Mermaid, but which way around shall I put them? Magic Spell should go on the outside really, shouldn't it? Yeah, let's put Magic Spell on the outside. It's going to be an interesting shade. So it appears that if I'm not doing blue, purple, green, then red is my colour. So blue, purple, green are like the primaries for me, and red is perhaps one of my secondaries, and I think maybe yellow is as well, when I find a yellow that I like. Do you know what? I wouldn't be mad at just putting this all over the lid and just having like a full-on smoke fest. I think that's quite a cool look actually. But I am going to put Little Mermaid in because I want to. Trying to demonstrate as many shades as I can for you, and I think the red could look cool. Little Mermaid. That's not as intense as I would like. Should we get the finger involved? Yeah, it's not giving oomph, impact red. I don't know why. That's better. I think, yeah, I just need to build it up. I think I'd want more. Should I wet brush? I'm going to wet brush it. Where's my refer number 2 gone? Yeah, it's still not necessarily the wow red, punchy red I was thinking. I'll ponder the inner corner on both, and I'm going to go and put some concealer on, and then to come back and do my under eyes. Now this is going to be interesting. I'm going to have to put the pink and the yellow down in my under eye, aren't I? To make this work, so let's do that. So I'm going to wet this brush. I had not thought of that, because ordinarily I'd use whatever matte shade I'd kind of done on the outer corner, but it's a brown that's very close to my skin tone, so I don't know that that will work. Belle. That's pretty intense actually when you wet it. And now Fairy Godmother. I think I will put Prince Charming inside. Been a very long time since I've put shimmers on my under eye, you know. I always do a matte. Like, I think I've done it before, definitely, but just not for a very, very long time. And inner corner on this side, I said I'd go with Prince Charming. I don't know if it will be bright enough, but that's what I feel like putting in there, so that's what I'm going to go with. It's pretty close, but yeah, I think that works. Other side, much easier, black. Right, mini swatch party of, I think maybe Snow White. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I think that might be the right call. Oh, actually. Oh, that's nice, Snow White. It's one of those white in the pan, but maybe not that. Okay, let's try Sleeping Beauty. Oh, Sleeping Beauty's nice too. Ooh, which one? Oh, I don't know now, I don't know. First Kiss is going to be too pink. Oh, actually, it's not as pink as it looks. I mean, it is pink, but... Oh, maybe I'll go with First Kiss, you know. Yeah, First Kiss works. Yay! Oh, I like that. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to finish everything off now, and then I shall come back with some first impressions. Back soon. I've zoomed you right in so you can see the finished look. We've got the princess side and the evil queen / stepmother side. So we're back to one look on each eye. So you know the drill, guys. You'll have to let me know which eye you prefer. The soft princess side or the dark evil stepmother queen side. There we go. I've tried to finish off my face and keep it as neutral as possible because obviously the looks are very different. I've got a very bright one and quite a dark look. So I've tried to keep the rest of my makeup quite toned down and neutral. So I've gone in with my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. My blush I'm using, well, I have used Paradise Venus from Pat McGrath, and that's what Paradise Venus looks like. I don't even know if you can tell, but I wanted a glow, but I couldn't. I was like, what colour highlighter would I want to go for a look like this? So I've just dabbed very lightly my Danessa Myricks low lighter in Low Key, and that's what Low Key looks like there. So it's very subtle, and I think it works quite nicely to give a discreet glow when paired with something like Paradise Venus. Like, I don't know if you can even tell, to be honest, but that's almost what I was after, because I just thought if I went for a goldy highlight, that wouldn't go with this side, and if I went with a silvery highlight, that wouldn't really go with this side. So I've gone with this, and it's almost like a skin tony shade with some blush / highlighty glow. For my lips, that was another one as well where it was a conundrum of which direction do I go. But 89 Fine, a bit of MAC Persistence, and I've topped it with the Adept Cosmetics gloss in Nude Beige, which I'm enjoying at the moment. Really like that. What else did I use? My mascara and my eyeliner, which I think I've left in the bathroom. Clinique Easy Liner and the Pat McGrath Dark Star is what I've got on today. This is beautiful. I love the colours. I love the shiftiness that's on that packaging, like that rainbow shift that's on there is beautiful. I fear for the longevity though of this castle that is on this box. I think because I keep my palettes in the boxes that mine will have a longer lifespan, but I just have this suspicion that would just start picking up ever so slightly over time. So that's one thing to be mindful of. I think I saw someone who, I don't know if their castle was stuck maybe a little bit higher because this bit was already starting to come off a little bit. But I'll be keeping it in this box, so I do think it will last a bit longer, but I'm just mindful of that. But this is nice packaging. It's nice packaging. As for the palette itself, even after having used the palette, I don't know how I feel about this row of mattes and then this beautiful array of shimmers. I think I can understand the reasoning behind it, but I just miss having some colourful mattes. Yeah, I just miss those colourful mattes. But then I don't know if it almost narrows you down into a look more easily I don't know. And that was my main thing when I saw the reveal. I did think, looking at it, I think it's beautiful, and I still think that now. But I just don't know how I feel about matching these shimmers with these mattes. I just don't know. And while I do love how the evil queen / stepmother side turned out, I was a little bit disappointed in Little Mermaid. I was hoping that that would be a more vibrant, punchy red. It's still given a beautiful effect, but I was just hoping for a bit more oomph. So I don't know if, I mean, I'll try that again. This is one of the reasons why I like to do a what do I think now, further down the line, when I've experimented a bit more. Maybe I just didn't put enough NYX glitter primer on the inner part of my lid, and that's why it hasn't popped as much. But I even went in, I sprayed my brush and I tried it again, and it's pretty, but it's not pow. And that's what I was hoping for Little Mermaid. Some of the, like, I need to use Snow White properly, because just from doing the little mini swatch that I did to figure out what to put on my inner corner on this eye, Snow White looks beautiful. First Kiss, which I've put in my inner corner here, that's nice. And I'm looking forward to just playing around with the shimmers in here with the different combinations, doing more of a monochromatic pink look, pairing that yellow with that purple, pairing the blue with that purple, pairing just, I think you can get some endless beautiful combinations with these shimmers in here. So I'm looking forward to trying that out. I think that would be really nice. And you could just go down really and do a look that, maybe not with that first row, that I don't know what kind of look you'd be able to do just with that, but I think that would, I mean, that's basically what I've done today actually, that one there. And I think that would be nice, but I'd want some of that to deepen things up a bit more. I think for me, I don't know how much use I'm going to get out of Alcazar de Segovia. That's super light. I think Craggio Castle is probably as light as I would want to go. And that's the very first shade I laid down on here just to kind of see. That's probably as light as I would want. And I think I would want, if we're sticking with the mattes in here, I'd probably want another brown. I think so. I'd want... But then I can understand the reason for this being in there. I can totally understand it. I just don't know how much I'd reach for that. Especially in a palette like this where I've got these kinds of shimmers which make excellent inner corner highlights. I don't think I would necessarily opt for that as an inner corner. Never say never. Never say never. But I just think if I've got these two in here, and even, I mean, I've used that one as well, I just think you're not short of choice for your inner corner highlight to the point where you'd want to, resort's not the right word, because I do like a matte now as an inner corner highlight. This is not going to be my favourite Nomad palette. It was going to be tough to knock New Zealand Stargazing off that top spot, but this isn't doing it. It's not. It's beautiful. I don't know where, it'll be interesting. Once I've played with this some more, I keep saying this, I need to do some palette rankings. I'm nearly there, I think, with trying out all my Nomad palettes and being thorough with them to form a view of what I think and how I would rank them. So I think if I'm, of all the palettes that I've got, I think Nomad is probably the brand I'd be able to do a palette ranking with first. So we'll see where this would fall. I do like the shimmers in here. They are nice. I'm just not convinced about pairing them with the mattes. That's the only thing. They're nice mattes though. As mattes go, they're very nice. And yeah, if you are after a black that's pitch black, that's not for you. If any, I'd say that's a dark grey. That's how it comes across to me. Would I prefer it to be more pigmented? I don't know, because sometimes blacks scare me, because you've got to be really careful. But then at the same time, even with building this up, this doesn't come up to a true black. It's still like a super dark grey. So if you're after a black, like black, that's not going to give it to you. Would I have bought it if I hadn't won it? I don't know. I was still on the fence. You know, having said that, one of the reasons why I'm uploading this today is because it's Earth Day. And if you didn't know, something that Nomad do is 5% of the proceeds of their palettes go to something relating to the theme of the palette. And they've got an Earth Day sale, which I think should still be running. I'll let you know. I like to put my little messages on the screen, but I'll give you more information there. And I think it's site-wide, including this, and you can get 25% off. So while I don't necessarily think I would have picked this up straight away myself, because I was, as I say, I was waiting. I hadn't made my mind up when I'd won it. I was waiting to see reviews just because I wasn't sure about that whole mattes with the shimmers in here scenario. So probably on sale I'd have picked this up. At launch, no, just because I was a bit unsure. It is pretty though. And I do like the way these looks have turned out. This is one where I'm gonna have to sort of come back to it. I need to play with this some more. Like I don't even feel like I can give you like I think this is one you should buy or whatever. Like I mean what's not my opinion count for? But it's I don't know. Based on these two looks alone, I do like this palette. I do. I think that this is taken me by surprise. I didn't think that I'd be able to. I thought I'd be more stumped than I was when it came to creating looks with this palette. But immediately these two ideas popped into my mind, and I can already just see more looks from this palette. And that doesn't always happen. So I'm almost surprised how by looking at this, I'm envisaging different combinations I can put together, because other times when I look at a palette, it takes much longer for me to be able to cast my eye over and put shades together. I just think that the combinations have been incredibly well thought out, and you've got endless possibilities in here. But I can't help but think that the possibilities would be even more endless had these mattes been colours. I don't know. To some extent, the jury's still out on this one, which is very unusual for me. Normally, I kind of know how I feel immediately about a palette, but I would need to play with this one more. So keep an eye out for a future. What do I think now? I might even do another video with this. So yeah, we'll see. I hope that you found that useful. I don't know, I feel like I need more time with this palette. But I still hope that you found it enjoyable to watch me create these two looks. Let me know what you think of them, like which one is your favourite. As always, thank you for taking the time to watch. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I also hope to see you again in a video in a not too distant future. Take care. Bye. Maybe I just didn't put enough. This is not going to be my favourite Nomad palette. It was going to be tough to knock New Zealand. Oh yeah, I just think that the combinations have been cannot speak today. Good Lord.